I forgot as well.
Oh. I thought about it and then remembered I didn't have one.
I forgot to bring a tripod this time. So,
do it this way because I don't want to keep leaning forward.
hello.
Good. Welcome. We are not professionals, but we're here. And we're going to talk to you today about dysmorphia and dysphoria, especially in cosplay. I can press this now, right? Yay! Welcome! So one of our members is running late today, so we're going to pretend that they're here. But we were going to start with introducing ourselves. So I'm A or Alex. I use pretty much any pronouns. I have been cosplaying for about 8 years now. And I only know that because it popped up in my Facebook memories like a month ago.
Hello. Contrary to expectations, I am not Alex. I am Alysha or Ahri. I use she, they pronouns. This is my 10th year cosplaying. Lisa is on their way.
Yes, hello, I'm Minnie. I'm a cosplayer and a photographer. I've been cosplaying for 16 years. Yeah, I use they, them pronouns and I'm a gender.
You want me to upset you right now?
But it's my 31st birthday in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I was still in.
Sitting with that.
I was still in primary school when you started cosplaying.
Oh my god! The existential crisis.
I am. Yeah, I work with teenagers. I have to be.
Okay.
So to start off with, we are going to talk about some body image issues and things that can be a little bit sensitive to some people. So there is a sensitive topic warning. These are our personal experiences. We're not professionals. We've just all kind of been through it. So we can kind of speak more from experience than any kind of like actual knowledge. If you do want more information, there is a couple of handy links and the little QR code there does go directly to Beyond Blue.
We're talking more in the general use terms as opposed to like clinically diagnosed, in a sense.
Yeah, if you do want more information, we will be around. You can come find us later, but also I would do some more proper research if you do want more proper information.
Yeah, even as I said, I have been cosplaying for nearly 16 years, but it's only in the last couple of years that I've really kind of discovered these feelings that I've had about myself and things.
Same.
Yeah, and it's been really eye-opening and really like, I know, gratifying and becoming like your own person and understanding it a lot more. So hopefully we can help like everybody else kind of, if you're feeling a little iffy or maybe you're like, oh, that's what that is. I feel because of that, then yeah, hopefully we can help you.
Try it, don't have to buy it.
Yes, exactly.
Man, I should not have changed that to yellow. I made mistakes. So to start off with, the difference between dysmorphia and dysphoria. Does someone else want to talk? You guys can do this.
You're doing great.
Yeah, so dysmorphia is it's very seriously a mental illness. It's when you very literally look into your mirror, you see pieces of yourself that do not look the way that you think they look, or you think they look completely different to what you believe. And it is really serious, and it is really heartbreaking, and things like that. So it is something that you should really try and seek some help with in understanding if you do have feelings of that. Whereas dysphoria specifically is feelings of discomfort and ease, disgust even, when you do kind of feel yourself being perceived as what you do not want to be perceived.
I just like don't being perceived in general, but yeah, it is important to know that you can have dysmorphic and dysphoric feelings without having dysmorphia or dysphoria.
Yes. It can also apply if usually it's worded around like trans or gender non-conforming, but you can be cis and still feel this as well.
Are we good? We're happy with that? Cool. Okay.
Why did we?
It stayed there. So can you tell we were working on a shared group of slides when we did this? This is Minnie's contribution at the first start there.
It's not a trigger. Butts aren't a trigger. They're just a feeling.
Sometimes they are.
I mean, mine is, you know. Yeah, these things are like any feeling or, you know, inside experience. There you go.
Personal to you.
Very much personal. We can talk to our experiences and our feelings because, again, ours are all different as well, as we've had these conversations in the past. Even our experiences, despite being on a shared panel, are not the same. So it is deeply personal and something that you've got to kind of, it sucks, but do some self-reflection to kind of experience and figure out on your own to be able to identify them.
I found even yesterday when I was wearing a costume that I'm very much proud of and everything, but I saw a few photos that had been taken where my face looked really round, and even though it is really round, I just do not like being, again, perceived as being very round. So I think for me specifically, when I'm posing or when I'm doing a photo and everything, I like to push out my face a little bit more and just like learning about the angles, because I know that if I do see a photo of myself looking round, I'm not going to appreciate the rest of the costume or the rest of the photo.
About 5 minutes ago, someone called me lady, and I'm like, not a lady.
Yeah, I think yesterday, despite cosplaying for 8 years, yesterday was the first time I've ever worn a costume where I didn't feel like dysmorphic in. Like, I actually felt like I worked for it, and like it worked well. I was dressed up as Penelope from Bridgerton, and I was like, yes, this is my body type. I feel amazing in this, and it was like the first time I think ever that I'd ever really felt correct in a cosplay. It's not to say that I don't love cosplaying and I don't love this. I love this. I didn't make this, but I love this. But yeah, it comes and it goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, you can still be very proud of how you look and how you feel, even if there are little things that you're not super thrilled by.
Yeah. So for this slide, obviously we have identifying triggers and feelings, and I think there's one of the biggest keys for me is when I feel like maybe I'm slipping into a negative state of mind about myself, is that I start to feel very nauseous. And I can't stand looking at myself in the mirror, even when I'm just getting ready for like a cosplay. There's been multiple days of coming to a con where I'll wear a costume in the car instance and everything, and I'll get to the convention and I feel like if I step out of the car wearing this, I would rather walk into traffic. So it's like, I will get dressed immediately, take it off, separate yourself from what's happening. And I realized that that's not a reflection on me, that's just my brain doing Gooses.
Yeah, I pulled over on the side of the road on the way to Supernova to get changed because I just couldn't stand, even in the car.
Yeah.
It can even be, leaving the house, you feel amazing, great, love it, and then just something flips, then there's no rhyme or reason for it, but you just got to roll with it, which I think is our next slide.
Yeah. What a good segue.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you. What a great segue.
It's almost like you put this together.
Yeah, so there's definitely things you can do in the moment where sometimes it's like the others have said, you've just got to nope out, stop, we're just going to do something different today. Otherwise, sometimes it's easier to just, okay, let me stop, can I do anything to fix this? Have I eaten? Have I drunk? Am I in pain? Because they're usually my big three when I start getting really, really twitchy. It's like, is it because I feel bad, or is it because I feel bad because I am a mammal and require sustenance?
Yeah, this little raccoon graph, I guess. I actually live by this. I use this all the time. Yeah, basically, when you feel like everyone hates you, sleep. If you feel like you hate everyone, eat. And if you feel like you hate yourself, have a shower. And that does make a difference. I know sometimes, especially if you're having bad mental health times, that having a shower, eating, sleeping, all of that feels like the hardest thing in the world, but it does make a big difference.
And if you can sort of get yourself to the con, like I've definitely sent messages before as well, it's like, someone please come find me, I'm not having a great time, can you just I just need someone nearby, I need some support, and that can just be enough to break you out of it. Have a hype squad.
Yeah, I think the support network is one of the biggest things that will help you through any single time. So we actually do have a group chat in the morning. Everybody sends photos of themselves getting ready for general hype.
As eggs.
Yeah, always as eggs and thumbs. We send the most unattractive photo that we can possibly send to each other. But it's all about, being, again, perceived from that negative thing and making it a good space.
A good hype squad's the best thing.
Yeah.
You don't need to confide in them everything. You don't need to be like, oh my gosh, I feel like the worst thing ever today. I'm just not confident. I kind of don't
need to know the details.
You just be like, guys, I need a compliment right now.
Yeah.
And then they will shower you. Even sometimes you don't ask for a compliment and they will shower you in compliments.
Yeah.
It did hype me up a lot yesterday. We good?
I think we're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, we got to the pictures.
This is that was the last slide with no pictures. From here, it's just all of our faces all the time. So if you're not sick of this already, get ready.
So comfort for cosplay can mean like quite a few things. Particularly, let's go like left to right because that's easier. I am obsessed with Jack and Daxter, have been since I was a kid. I am not built like a Dorito, which deeply saddens me. A skill issue. But it meant that when I wanted to cosplay Jack, I basically merged his Jack 2 and Jack 3 design into a punk rework. And it meant that it was something that I actually felt really euphoric in. It was a bit of a weird gender thing where I'm like, I don't know what this is, but it's a vibe. And like, you've done things that are fan art.
I am obsessed with D-Loop from Genshin Impact. Again, I'm also not built like a Dorito. I don't wield a claymore. So I have done some of the fan art and things which come out, and then I've done my own silly basketball versions from my own headcanons. And I think that cosplaying a character that you feel an affinity to or create comfort in, and then creating your own comfortable character costume around that is something that made me still want to cosplay, still be next and connected to the character, but do it in my own comfortable way. And that wig is my magnum opus.
The baby.
Yeah, that is the most proud thing I ever made.
I'm obsessed with your wig styling.
Thank you.
I keep looking at this.
I found one technique and I will stick with it.
Despite what it looks like in the middle slide, I am also not built like a Dorito, but that angle truly does just Dorito.
But we can make it look like.
Yeah, so you can accentuate the things you are confident in. I might not be confident in my shape, but I know that in a good corset and the right outfit, I can snatch. So, just knowing your angles and knowing how to twist and bend and wear an outfit that does accentuate that. I hate skin tight outfits. I very rarely am seen in them, but this is one of my favorite cosplays that I've been photographed in because, despite it being skin tight, I feel badass in it. Yeah. That's also not my costume. It was made by my wonderful friend, El Defo. I steal it regularly. It makes me feel powerful. Yeah, it does the rounds. That's the other thing. You can also just find some friends who have cool costumes.
We swapped today. Hence.
Because sometimes if it's you're not feeling confident in your body, sometimes you need something like an outfit you'll feel confident in, and if it's a cosplay you've made, sometimes you can get self-conscious also. That being said, I do love this one. You do have to give it back.
Yes.
But sometimes borrowing someone else's costume and just putting it all in a fresh light is a big thing.
Even so, the final two, or the last sort of four section, Achilles is, aside from the cloak, basically clothes I would wear normally, for the cut and fit. Gideon is my own wardrobe. So it's clothes that I know I am comfortable in and I know I'm confident in, but then they're also characters that have a lot of deep meaning to me as well. So it's sort of that lovely combination of finding a character that I love to portray, it brings me confidence being them, and I happen to be physically comfortable as well.
It is worth noting as well is that just because one person is wearing one thing, if you're in a duo or a matching thing, if one person's feeling it, the other one does not have to.
Yeah.
I did Harrow along with Alysha's Gideon, and you will not see photos of that because I was not confident in that. I had to be talked down in the group chat from just burning the entire cosplay.
I stole it instead.
Recycle your costumes, don't set them on fire.
Yeah, that's fair.
Unless you're weathering it, as I was doing.
Yeah, for weathering reasons.
Set it on fire as much as you like.
100%. But you can have bad days and bad cosplays, and you don't want to wear it again. It's not the end of the world. There are other cosplays. And even if it's just you're not feeling it that day, give it a break, put it away for a bit, then bring it back later. I'm gonna remake Harrow eventually, just in a different way that's probably gonna suit me a bit more.
We love a reboot.
Yeah. It's the remix.
Cosplay reboot. Reboot to Electric for
For context, I work at a school really quickly, but one of my students the other day referred to non-traditional pronouns as remixed. And as such, every person that is gender non-conforming is a remix, and I kind of love that. For me, my comfort cosplays are Anna and Beast Boy, despite Anna being corseted, proper princess, all of that stuff. she brings me so much comfort as a character. I have been playing a version of Anna basically since I started cosplaying. I think I started doing Anna 7 years ago and I've been cosplaying for 8. But I do a lot of like character events, and so I literally play Anna all the time. There was at one point I was literally every weekend going out as Anna, and nothing does bring me like quite as much comfort as just slipping into that, because it is just like a whole other thing, and it is just a cosplay that I feel like so confident in because I've worn it so much and I know it so well. Like, it's part of my wardrobe at this point.
It's also great to have a character like that or a costume like that where you feel like even with yourself and you're having like dissociation time to time, to kind of like adopt another personality.
Lean into the dissociation.
Exactly. Sometimes it works.
Not long term. Please don't disassociate long term.
Cosplay will not
Just
save
like,
you from all
just
of
while
the
you're in the
problems.
costume, yeah. I very much do that in my 6 costumes. I don't do femme, but as Bolin, I'm like, I am her, I'm not that, and then I'm super confident with it.
Yeah, and Beast Boy, like, I never felt more mask in a cosplay than I was in full green body paint, wildly enough. But it was just very good and very gender, and had a great time with it. And also, yeah, it is jeans and a leather jacket, like, it is just my wardrobe. Okay, we still do not have Lisa, and this, I think that's fine.
I'm sure they're fine.
Have we got an ETA on Lisa?
Anyone?
Maybe in my phone.
I'm looking. No? Okay. They're an enigma.
Very true.
It's alright, this is your slide. I lied.
Yes.
Stop checking your phone.
Oh,
Lisa
no,
is
very
caught in
true.
traffic. Yeah, so this is all me. Hello. Apparently I picked 2 costumes that are very similar. But
I think blue might be your colour.
Yes.
blue is my
cosplay
colour,
colour.
you stole it. But yeah, working with a good photographer and one that you trust can make a huge difference. For the Fallout shoot, both of those photos were taken on the same day. I hadn't really worked with either photographer before. The one on the left is peak. It's one of my favorite photos of me, especially in a vault suit, like Alex was saying, with body tight. It can be a whole thing. Whereas the run on the right really highlights the whole very tight bodysuit thing. Not ideal. The Lux photos, that was a costume that I built to get out of a slump. It was post-COVID. COVID is really hard with weight gain, all that sort of stuff. Was not feeling myself. Had a fun time building it. And I recognize that both of these photos objectively are quite good. They're very good photographers. They're people I love to work with. But when I look at them, all I can see are the parts of myself that I hate. And I think these ones have been shared, but it was a struggle for me to share them. Because I'm like, cool, my forearms look banging. Everything else can go in the bin. So sometimes it's like, you know, you can do all of the right things, you can be feeling great on the day, and you get back and it's just like, no, I'm out.
I actually worked with a photographer that I worked with a lot yesterday, and I was dressed as Jolteon, more male kind of coded outfit. And because I've worked with this photographer so many times, he actually asked me, he's like, do you want these to be femme coded or mass coded? And I was like, mass coded, let's go, let's do it, let's make me look broad, let's make me look tall, because I'm 5'4". I don't want to look tall and I want to look powerful, and I want the do kind of things, which your photographer will be able to do. Again, as we've said before, it's all about angles, the photos will make a difference. And if you say to your photographer, hey, can you only shoot me from the left because my teeth are a lot more even on that side and that's something I prefer, they'll do it. It's just easy, just ask them.
Yeah, a good photographer, like any good photo shoot is about communication. And you will learn this at pretty much any cosplay panel that talks about any kind of photography or photo shoot, is that it's about communication, it's a collaboration, and just saying these things outright is the best way to get these things to happen. You're good?
I'm good.
Okay, now it's my turn.
Hey.
Wow, that's pink.
It's so blown out on the screen.
I know. Yeah, Lisa missed me 3 times at that con, despite me
think I saw
being
you from a
fluorescent pink. They were like, I didn't see you. I was like, I walked past you 3 times. Anyway, Lava Girl was the first foam build I ever did. It was like the first like superhero builds I made. I adore it to pieces. I want to fix it up and wear it again. This first photo by the lovely Red Scarf, they worked with me the whole time. They're a cosplayer as well, super understanding about what I was feeling and where my confidence was lying. and we got some awesome photos. This second one, I actually don't know the photographer, but I got randomly stopped and asked for a photo. This is nothing against the photographer, it just wasn't a great angle. It was in a rush. I didn't know them, I didn't know how to work with them, and I felt physically ill seeing that photo because it just was not one that I was confident in or with. And then this last one of Elena is possibly my favorite cosplay photo ever. I got so many compliments on that, and it just made my little bean heart. But yeah, sometimes if you're not super confident in some things, just go for the close crop. Zoom it all the way in. You don't have to worry about how big your thighs are if the shot is only of your face.
Close crops are great too, because even if you do get a photo like this middle one, for instance, again, it's still objectively a really good photo, but you can crop that, and Instagram's going to crop it for you anyway. So it's a good one that you can, still, if you do find a photographer that you're really happy working with and you still want to share their work, you can still go in for the closer crop. They still get the credit, you still get the credit, you still get to share the amazing work that you've done together.
Just double check with them before you do anything to any photos that...
yes, filter wise, editing wise and things like that. But I think a close in crop is still, keeping the essence of the photo. So usually that's okay. But again, do ask.
Yeah, unless they've done it to specifically frame things. Yeah, pretty safe. And yeah, Instagram. There's little ones around, so I'm not going to swear, but can we just say F the algorithm right now? Oh my god.
I hope Meta AI dies in a hole and gets
Lisa's not here, so either we've got to wait for them to come back, or we could just
the thing.
Yeah.
Lisa.
Baby Lisa in this one. Lisa does the pipeline between masc and femme like nobody I've ever seen before.
So perfect. So perfect.
So fluid.
The gender. TN.
But yeah, this basically does say on the slides exactly how they're feeling about it. It's a lot of the time about posing and angles and how faces appear and how
I think the point from for the bell as well, whereas a shot from below versus a shot from above can really change how your face looks. And it can depend on the character, but also depend how you want to feel about your face as well. You can, for the character, it might make more sense to be from below, but you might hit your chin. Yeah. To be okay, let's just do something different, get something that actually is working a lot better for what we're looking for.
I know in Lisa's case as well, having worked with them as a photographer and a cosplayer as well, they do only work with photographers that will let them retouch their images.
Yes.
Lisa is very strongly opinionated on and strong feelings about how they look in their photos. So I do know that they do prefer to tweaking things before they put something out there. Again, not every photographer is going to let you do this. So it's really good to have a clear communication before you work
communicate that, and know that if you want the power to edit those things yourself, to find a photographer that's going to let you do that, or you always look better in a selfie because you've kind of taken that and you've had the control of that, whereas in a photo, I think posted image versus tagged image.
Yeah. It kind of goes back to the whole thing we were saying at the start, where sometimes when you're starting this journey, you've really got to sit in your feelings a bit and know you can't communicate unless you know what you're trying to communicate.
Yep. I kind of just want to sit here for a bit and see if Lisa walks up in the next 30 seconds and their face is just plastered on the screens. No, we'll keep moving. No, it's your turn.
Yes, it's my turn. Exactly the same thing that we're touching on, working with a photographer versus not working with a photographer. So I've included only 3 costumes. How strange. So I made my Goose costume as a sewing challenge because I do not like to sew. And so as we can see here, the first costume picture that we have on the left is somebody who asked me to do my photo. They were like, oh, let's have a photo. And I was like, awesome, I can get in my position and I can pose and I can tilt my body to the left and show you the left side of my face. And then we have this awkward little potato happening here on the right side where somebody didn't ask me for a photo. It is viscerally bad to look at for me. It makes me super uncomfortable.
That's called your posture, fam.
I know, that's the gamer posture.
The Dutch angle is really Dutching as well.
It's also got Heidi and it's also not a great photo.
It's because I cut her head off.
Not great. But I think as well, like this person shared it to socials and they tagged me in it, and I rejected the tag because I didn't want people seeing that compared to the other one. But then the other one I've got is a competition build that I made, and even though when I was making it, I put on a lot of weight. It was roughly around COVID times, and so I've got picture where everything looks great. You know, it would actually be a really, really amazing photo of the actual costume with all of the details in it. But a photo that I just despise how I perceive myself in. And then I've got a strategically placed sword in front of the midriff.
We love a prop.
We love a prop, yes. Hide behind a prop, it's fine. Because if you've made the prop, if you've bought the prop, it's going to look amazing in all of the photos.
Me with a fan yesterday, my face was getting a little bit shiny from like just the heat of the con, and I was like, oh, here's a fan. I'll just like do the Princess Diaries, like. Okay, let's keep going. Oh yeah, just some other dumb tricks, because we all decided we wanted some silly photos in here. First of all, be safe. If you are feeling particularly dysphoric, you know, sometimes, you know, binders, corsets, all of those little things to change your body shape and your face shape, all of those things, amazing. That being said, don't wear a binder for 18 hours. Wait.
Let's get back to your face.
Oh my god, you match your colour scheme too.
I do.
Hi, this is Lisa.
Get your breath back.
Hey everyone, sorry about that. Don't agree to pick up people in the morning, you have a panel. Anyway, where were we up to?
Well, we thought we'd like to discuss about how
Oh, we discussed for you, but not very
you
well.
enjoy to be perceived or not perceived, or what you like to change about
Quick introductions. Hey everyone, my name is Lisa. I use he, she and they pronouns, anything is fine. I identify as non-binary, more specifically genderqueer. I've been cosplaying for over 10 years by now. Since we're at my slide, I'll just say really quickly.
If you want a break, we can take it. We can talk about something else.
No, it's all good. So, like, the one on the left-hand side is my Pokemon Go cosplay from a while back. It is at the same event. Two different photographers. One was just like a photo that was taken at a con, not really posed, someone just stopped me for a photo. And the other one was a proper shoot that I had arranged. As you can see, the one on the left, not a big fan of that one. I don't like the way my face is angled. I tend to like myself on the left-hand side only, and I kind of prefer the other one.
Left-hand side of the face.
I think everyone has a side, essentially. And on the other one, I do tend to do more male cosplays. So trying to do Belle from Beauty and the Beast was a huge challenge for me. The other one, I do like both photos, I think they're both really great, but I just prefer the one on the right-hand side because of the angle, because of the way my face is turned, the expression and everything. I have quite a square jawline, which tends to lead better to more masculine characters. So I like the ones, like if I'm doing a femme character like Belle, I like to have my face down a little bit just so I can sort of soften that jawline and not have such a square, essentially. But yeah, so I think knowing your angles is a huge part of trying to combat the dysphoria that may come with the characters that you do. But I think one big thing that I want to say is that sometimes you don't have to do all the characters that you want to do. There is plenty of characters that I personally really, really love that I have just come to terms with the fact that I'm not going to like the way I look as myself in them. But I can see my friends do them, I can see other people that I really admire do them, and maybe that's better than me just doing it by myself. So sometimes throwing in the towel is not exactly like a bad thing. And maybe there's other characters from the same series that you can do as well. So yeah.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, so hang on, we'll go back to this one. Yeah, chase the dopamine, take a break, throw in the towel, focus on something else for a while.
Make a weird, dumb helmet that brings joy.
Such a great helmet.
Body paint yourself and then cover your entire head in glad wrap and latex so you can dress up as Deadpool for absolutely no reason.
I'm like, have a nap in front of an Apple store.
Dressed as Snow White.
Yeah. It's the silly goose energy, and some of us really lean into the silly goose energy. Yeah.
Specifically requested a photo of Lisa's silly goose.
Cosplay is not serious.
Yeah.
It's not serious. If you do want to take it in a more serious route, work with a photographer who can help you make your dreams not be memes.
I tend to do, or not tend to, but like I have done a couple of very, very large comp builds, one of which took me about 5 years, and I will not be ever allowed to forget that.
One of mine is a dream hack.
But it means that while I'm working on that and slowly losing my mind, I'm working also on something that is small and silly and brings joy. Because having multiple things on the go and having that kind of balance can really help, like with mental health as well, not to get bogged down.
And I think sometimes you may feel like if you don't get the cosplay that you want done on this day, you get FOMO, you're worried about disappointing your friends, but honestly, there is always another event they can wear the set. You can even just meet up with your friends and film some TikTok videos. You do not have to be like, it has to be at this con or nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
Take
when I
some
was
selfies.
younger, like back in my day, there was maybe like 2 cons a year, okay? And now there's like, what, at least 6, 7 cons in Victoria
more.
alone.
Oh, it's
So
insane.
you're always gonna have another chance. If you're not feeling up to it that day, do not push through. It is not worth it. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna feel like crap. And you're not gonna feel like you did a good job. So if you are not feeling it, your friends are not gonna be disappointed, okay? Anyone worth their salt will know that you should be putting your health before putting on a silly costume, all right?
Yeah, I have a background in special effects makeup artistry, body paint, all of that stuff. I tend to actually like paint myself to look like the character before I even cosplay it. I've never cosplayed Deadpool in my life properly. I probably never will, but it was fun for an afternoon to paint myself to look like that I had. I've had photographers message me about like my Starfire cosplay, being like, hey, can we do a photo shoot of this? And I was like, no, because it's painted from here up and I was in sweatpants and like a tube top, so probably not. But yeah, it gives me at least a really good idea of whether or not I'm going to like myself as a character before committing to it.
Especially things like makeup. If you're unlike me and actually like makeup, doing a makeup test first, just to, yeah, Lisa can probably talk a bit more about this, but just to see if you actually like the character or if you're going to not build an entire costume and then hate it.
Yeah, so sometimes if you have a wig that's suitable for the character, maybe just pop that one on first, try and do the makeup that's of the character that you want to do. See how you feel in it. Instead of like investing a few $100s into a costume, only to get it, put it on, and realize that you hate the way you look. Start with a really easy makeup test. You know, take a few selfies in the angles that you know that you like. Get other people to take a few photos of you, and just see how you feel first before you throw all that money in.
Yeah.
I feel like we're going down this end now. First of all, tips for repairing masks: have the audacity.
Yes.
No one is more confident or has more audacity than a straight white man. As occasionally a straight white man, I've never been straight in my life.
And that can't relate.
It's confidence.
It is. It's confidence, it's angles, it's about taking up space. Because, you know.
So the Beast Boy and Raven photo is still one of my favorites. I've never had so much fun at a shoot because Chris and I were just being feral the whole time. But yeah, it's a lot of like picking those angles and going for the hard straight lines. Also featuring a rare out of cosplay photo of me. I did my makeup on the way to your birthday, actually. And I was really feeling this, and I was like, I've never felt more gender. I sent it to the group chat, and they're like, okay, Heath Ledger. And I was like, whoa. I need like 90 minutes.
Yep, so aside from just knowing your angles and doing the right makeup, there is little like cheap tricks that I use to appear more masculine. So it might be a little bit, I don't know how easy it is to tell in the photo, but on the left-hand side, So I was cosplaying Craig from Dream Daddy, the video game, and his character is a fitness buff. He is a gym rat, very buff. I'm very not. Instead of like, I know you can buy like silicone muscle suits these days, but they are quite expensive. They're hard to put on by yourself. So what I did was, you know those like sticky chicken fillet bras? What I did was, you just add one to your bicep, add one to the underside of your bicep, and I added one to my shoulder as well. And I safety pinned another shoulder pad onto my binder, sorry. So sometimes even for costumes that maybe you can't build a binder into, literally just safety pin it onto your binder because it has the same effect in the end. And just use a bit of medical tape to make sure everything stays in place. If I have enough, I sometimes add another one up to my forearm as well, especially if the costume actually covers all the way up to your forearm. And as you can see on the actual photo, I look buff as heck, and I'm definitely not like that in real life. But instead of investing in like a silicone bodysuit that can be quite expensive, that is a cheap and fast little way just to add a bit of muscle underneath your shirt as well.
Yeah, and especially when it comes to changing your body shape on like a easy, well not easy ways, but like cheeky little ways.
Yeah.
Yes, we can do that. Look at drag kings, look at drag queens. They have like the best tips and tricks
Absolutely.
and
One
different ways.
One of my favourite ones is face tape. So I use medical tape to pull a very round face, again, as I keep mentioning. So when I am trying to appear a slightly more masked, I do tape the sides of my face, which actually pulls up my face quite a lot. It just goes over the back of my head, over between my wig caps. And it doesn't make a massive difference, but I see the difference, and that's enough for it to be worth doing, personally.
You will notice, first of all, that not all of these mask photos are mask or male characters, but they have that mask energy. It's about those hard poses, it's about the man spread. It's a state of mind, yeah. Masculine is a state of mind. Alysha 2024. But like, yeah, for Kate, like Kate Bishop in the corner there, I tend to pose more in a mask way. Like I'll roll the shoulders back, I'll, you know, have the legs spread a little bit, like I'll pull everything up and back and kind of have that masculine posing. Failing that, a pizza box on your head.
Yep, and same with two photos down is Chloe from Life is Strange, which I did a while back. She is quite a, for lack of a better word, tomboyish character. So, you know, when I'm posing, I'm like opening up my chest to make my shoulders look broader. I mean, I got my leg up. I'm basically not acting very gentle, for lack of a better word. But yeah, you don't have to be a male character to portray masculine energy, is what we're trying to get across, and vice versa.
I also realize how many of us have like facial hair in these photos. My other favourite thing, especially when I'm trying to appear mask, is just, I do this for any cosplay, honestly, but just like make it look like you've had the Pitaki mushrooms beat out of you. Clint Barton is my comfort character. I think it's just a Hawkeye thing, but like just getting to run around with bruises and like looking like a hot mess, because that way if you feel like you don't look good, you're like, I'm not meant to. I'm meant to look like a hot mess, so I'm allowed to feel like a hot mess. Anyone else? We're good?
Probably just with the Achilles shot, like this is one where I don't change my body at all when I wear that costume, but I do very much with my face, emphasize like really hard into the cheekbones. I have very deep set eyes, so I actually lean into that and I'm like, hi, I look like I haven't slept for a month. But just like, sometimes it's really fun to like commit to the like heavier, more masculine makeup, but just not bother with anything else. And it's like, this is enough of like a weird mix that I'm feeling it.
I think I actually wear a lot more makeup when I'm trying to appear masked than when I'm doing a film character. And I think that's a little bit
But I think the main point is try not to, it's not about like fighting against what you already have, it's about enhancing what you have. So, you know, I know we all do contour, and like think about it this way, like if you're at a theater, you're seeing someone on stage, if you look at them up close, their makeup is so much heavier than you would expect because you're looking from afar. When you take photos, it gets washed out. So, you know, like think about like you might want to do your makeup and then just add a little bit more. So when photos come out, it will actually look like the way you want it to.
Yeah, sorry, I flipped to the next slide without realizing that it has a slight trypophobia warning, just because of beehives. But yeah, when it comes to feminine makeup, I do a lot of princesses and stuff, and it is just enhancing the brown lines, enhancing all of the soft features. The biggest difference between femme and mask makeup for me is the amount of glitter that I use. For feminine makeup, I tend to go for more shimmers, more glitters, more like
A lot of eye emphasis.
Highlighting shades, whereas for mask ones, I will just matte everything out.
And the posing, it's very much, you know, when you're doing things as opposed to squaring yourself off, like, you know, do the whole hot dog hand, extend your lines, like keep your waist visible.
Become a ballerina.
Pretend you're graceful when you're a potato.
Know the photographers you're working with, and a lot of photographers, especially ones that are also cosplayers, are amazing at, you know, helping you enhance your best angles.
Yeah, a snatched waist will give you a lot. It's like I don't need much else. Just bring that waist in and I'm good.
We're just going to switch straight to that one. Yeah, so again, you can see that we've got quite a stash here. I love you just frolicking through the forest there.
I am the sweetest Doverkin who has ever frolicked. Like that one in particular, I threw in because it's like it's very soft. Everything's sort of rounded off. It's the head tilt, which you can kind of see on some of the other photos as well, as opposed to the mask ones. They're like tough.
We're all like, oh,
yeah. A bird.
Yeah, the Sally one I think is the best example of working with a photographer. This is the amazing Cartier photography. Leo came to this shoot with like a sketchbook where they like storyboarded out photos that they wanted to take, and so this like pin-up version of Sally was completely his idea, and it came out with this like amazing effect. But it really shows off all those feminine angles and that like.
I feel like playing with your costume is a lot more of a feminine thing as well, like lifting the skirts, like playing with hair, playing with like a sash or something. Again, it's emphasizing those lines, but like, you know, most guys don't go around touching their face like this, that I know of.
Or just hold an emotional support, Wicked Witch of the West Lego.
And so the one that's kind of like in the photo, in the middle, the blue one, that one I took, it wasn't like a cosplay shoot, it was more of a fashion shoot that I did in Japan. And they actually guided me, the photographer guided me when I was doing the shoot. So there was a lot of shots of me like with my hands on my chin, basically hiding my jawline. And just, so like you might not feel like you look good like all the time in the costume, but there could be some poses here and there that you feel like could actually enhance the costume overall.
Yeah, again, it's about that communication with your photographer. Same thing as yesterday, are we doing mask coded, are we doing femme coded? Yeah. And even if you are wearing like a mask costume, but you're like a girly boy,
it can be femme coded.
It can be femme coded, yeah. It's about mixing and matching. We're all here to tell you that gender isn't real.
Yeah.
Just do what's comfortable.
This is where you can find us. We take nothing seriously.
Yes. StepsCon 2024. Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll find us outside on the
Yeah.
steps. Yeah. Not in the rain.
In
okay.
the dry parts of the steps. But yeah, so this at this stage we're here
Just
for
in
you guys
case you want to curse
ask
cosplayers
questions.
really quickly.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions, if you want to talk to us afterwards, these are all our handles where you can find us.
Yes, we'll give a microphone.
Yeah, we can hand the mic down. But yeah, has anyone got any questions?
Yes. Thank you. We have one over here. We went the wrong way.
Yeah, I was just going to ask. I don't know. Like, it kind of depends on who you're cosplaying. But if you wanted to do a mask makeup look, but it was like a child, for like a minor character, would that be different? Like,
Yeah.
how would you approach that differently from doing an adult male?
Super different.
Okay,
Super
Because I
different.
feel like I still kind of struggle with that.
All right, so the way I sort of categorize my makeup, I tend to have young male character makeup, older male character makeup, and younger female makeup, older female makeup. If I'm doing like a younger character, so a few slides back, I did Xiaorong from Car Captors, and he is like probably 16 in the show. I'm definitely not 16. So the way I do my makeup if I'm doing a younger male character is I lessen the contour. I don't do like heavy shadows on the side of my cheeks. I don't try and define my jawline too much. Instead of doing like heavy eyeliner, I just do a little bit more eyeshadow. So I kind of use eyeshadow to line my eyes instead. And one tip that I do a lot, which I'm actually wearing today, I don't know if it's easy to tell from the stage, but instead of using black eyeliner, which I usually do for all my characters, I use a brown eyeliner instead. So brown fine tip liner, it makes it look much more subtle. It makes it look like you have less makeup on essentially. And also blush. Having a bit of blush to make your cheeks a little bit rosy and less contour.
I also find that fake freckles is a good way. I've done fake
freckles
freckles
so good.
today. Yeah.
But no, the brown eyeliner is something like wedding makeup artists use to like soften a bride's makeup and make it look more natural, without it being like, you know, makeup. But yeah, it's just softening everything just a little bit more. Again, like there's a lot of diagrams. Is that the word? Yeah. For like mask versus femme contouring and stuff online that are probably the best things you can have a look at. But yeah, for younger ones, it's just trying to find something like right in the middle of that and like softening just a little bit and not going as harsh. And yeah, a little bit of blush, a little bit of freckles, like it just makes it really youthful. And a little bit of like a white or a cream coloured eyeliner on your waterline or under your eyes.
I've got that on today.
So do I, but in very different ways. It can just make your eyes look a little bit bigger, a little bit more youthful. It's a cute little...
And one more thing that I like to do as well, either in the corner of your eye or even just on top of your eyelid, do a dab of either a gold or a white, what is it called? Eyeshadow.
Eyeshadow, yeah.
Because that will make your eyes look bigger. It'll sort of brighten your eyes a lot more as well. And if you can find lashes for it, really, really short lashes. And you can either just like ones that don't flick out at the end, so more rounded ones, just so you and only on the top as well, just so you can make your eyes look a little bit bigger and rounder overall, instead of having that cat eye effect.
Yeah.
I haven't done it myself personally, but I have seen other people do it. Is that they will get those like really short lashes, cut it in half, and just apply the bottom one to like half of it to the bottom of the corner of your eye. So that will just give it overall to the big like kira eye look.
Yeah. Even just curling just the top.
Yeah,
line.
I do very similar whenever I do Sally. We've got like I think a minute left, or like wrapping it up. Yep. If you have any more questions, again, our socials are up there with our cursed faces. We'll be around.
We'll
Come
be around
find us.
con.
Come say hi.
Around Cosplay Central quite a lot, I'm sure.
The last thing to cover in gender is, of course, the Jack Frost spectrum.
Yeah, we were doing the PowerPoint and we realised that we'd all cosplayed Jack Frost at some way, shape or form in things, so we found that this is a pipeline to discovering your gender. So give it a try, cosplay Jack Frost and see how you feel.
I cannot wait for the next con where it's just like
Just Jack Frost.
just Jack Frost.
Let's do a panel. Everyone meet back here next year. Jack Frost panel.
But yes,
Yes,
thank
otherwise,
you again. If you have questions,
Grab
come
us,
say hi.
message
but
us.
Thank you for having
And
us.
yay, we did it. Oh, I've got the thing on.